Hey guys, I'm ROG. In this video, I finally gonna share an unboxing and first-hand impressions of the latest Xbox handheld, the ROG Xbox Ally X. Of course, I decided to go ahead with the X version. The white version actually comes in the white box, so it's very easy to identify. And of course, if you've been following my channel, you know that I love these devices. And of course, I was gonna pick the X version here. So we're gonna go ahead and unbox it for the first time. I did get this with my own money, so this is not a review unit. And of course, today, because today is the official day that it actually comes out, October 16th. So I just got this. I'm just gonna unbox it. There you go. We got cut this over here. I think it was already cut. I think I already cut it accidentally there. Okay, and I think that's it. So over here in the back, you actually get to see the specs right there. It says all the specs right there, what type of screen it has, the chip it has, the RAM, how much storage, everything is actually right there. I'm gonna take this out. Okay, damn. Okay, come on. There you go. Ooh. Oh yeah, I think this didn't actually come out completely out. Okay, what's this? Oh, this is the dock. Yep. So the dock is behind that box right here. There it is. So just like the normal ROG Ally, it comes with a cardboard dock. It says ROG right there. If you don't have a dock, I guess this is going to be good for now, right? Until you actually get a real dock. Over here, you got plug in, power on. So you got to plug it in so we can power it on. Yep. A lot of devices, you do have to do that to actually turn it on for the first time. Now this is going to be the first time. Ooh, first time grabbing this in person. Okay. Okay. Okay, I thought it was gonna feel a little bit more heavier. And here we got, what is this? Okay, there you go. So we got the ROG. I think this is the same charger that came with the other one, right? The old versions. So there it is. And I believe this is a 65 watt. Yeah, 65 watt right there. So it means that any 65 watt or 100 watts you have will be good enough. If you get the 100 watts, it's going to be even better because it's going to charge it even faster. And I do have a couple of those as well. You got instruction manuals. No stickers? Wait, they don't include stickers? I thought they did include stickers with their devices. Okay, so I guess no stickers. And what else? What's this? Is this something? No, I guess there's nothing here. And basically that's it. There's nothing more in the inside there. So let's go ahead and take this out from here. I don't want to touch the screen because I want to avoid fingerprints so soon. Okay, there it is. Oh yes. Wow, I thought it was gonna feel a lot more heavier. You know, since day one, ever since I saw the leak images for this, I never liked the design of it. And honestly, I still don't think it's a nice, beautiful looking device at all. I just don't like the way it looks. But it is gonna feel super comfortable because it's basically like Xbox controller. The triggers. Nice. And the buttons, very cool. You got these buttons over here. So let me go ahead and plug this into the power. Okay, so over here in the top, you got the battery little light that turned on right there. You got two USB-C ports, volume up, volume down, micro SD card slot, 3.5mm jack for the headphones, power button. In the bottom, we don't have anything. On the back, we have the programmable buttons here. I barely ever use these, so I really don't care for those. And here, there's nothing there, but you got the speakers here front facing you. The D-pad, the D-pad actually feels really good too. So does the sticks. So we just go and touch it. Oh yeah, we feel a very nice vibration there. Nice. So of course the last ROG Ally that I got was the first one that came out, the Z1 Extreme white version. And I really did like it, but when that came out, I had a whole bunch of other options to play, so I actually sold it. Then I got the Legion Go, and I really love the Legion Go. I love the big screen. But of course, if you've been following my channel, you know that I actually sold the Legion Go so I can, pay up a little bit, reduce the money for this, because this right here is $1,000, $999.99. That's insane. Of course, the other one, the white one, is $599. Yeah, $599. I've heard good things about that one as well. It's not that bad. But of course, if you want to get the best performance as possible and play the best, make sure the AAA games feel and look as good as possible, this is the one you want to get. At the end of the day, this is a handheld gaming PC. Yes, of course, it has the Xbox full experience, but this, at the end of the day, is a handheld gaming PC. So right now, everything that we're going to go through here, which I'm going to edit, is going to be basically the same thing as setting up a new laptop, a Windows laptop. This is basically what we're going to be doing here. So I think I'm going to go ahead and come back, set it up, update, do all the updates, and then share with you guys my actual thoughts about the system so far. But so far, first impressions out of the box, it feels lighter than I thought. It feels way more lighter than what it looks in videos or in pictures. It feels really good, and it feels really nice grabbing it. You could tell you could be hours playing this. But yeah, I'm gonna have to do all the updates. Like, you see that? Launching Windows. You got the Windows logo, not the Xbox logo. Windows, because this is a Windows handheld device. So of course we're gonna continue there. I'm gonna set it up and update so we can go ahead and finish this video once we're all done. Okay guys, so here we are back again, finally, after 2 hours, over 2 hours of doing updates for this device. Because keep in mind, once you launch this device, you're going to do the Windows update. I'm going to go ahead and turn it on right there so you guys can see how fast it actually loads into the Xbox full experience, which is awesome. I've been using it on one of my Windows handheld devices, and I've been loving it. And I love it even more here because now here I can actually use the buttons to navigate on. If you saw my prior video where I show my experience so far with Windows Xbox handheld device experience, you know that my device didn't work with the buttons. Keep in mind, I did install 2 games there to try it out pretty fast here because I didn't want to spend too much time downloading the games that I actually want to play. And I'll be uploading another video later on to show you guys how the games performs here and what settings I'm using. But right now, I'm just going to go ahead and navigate around and share so far my experience. Like I said, I did do a lot of updates. When you first launch this, you're going to do a whole bunch of updates, not only from Windows, but you're also going to do updates for Armor Crate updates. So when you tap on this button over here, it launches to Command Center, which is from Asus, right? And when you tap right here, the Xbox button, it launches the game bar. So game bar, if you use this on PC, is basically the same thing that you see on PC. Same game bar as you see in PC. These are considered widgets, and you can actually take some of these widgets off if you don't like them, or you could just leave them there. Like for example, I think I can take this off by tapping and holding. Yeah, close that, and right there I closed it, and I don't know if it's actually gonna pop up again, but you could just do that, right? Here you can still access Command Center by going all the way to the end, which I don't know why there's 3 buttons there. In my opinion, it should have been just the Xbox button and this button, because right now if I'm here, tap right here, and it launches to Command Center, right? If I tap right here, it launches to game bar. But if I go like this, it takes me to Command Center. So what's the point of that? I don't get it. So from here, what's cool here is that you can actually change the TDP right away. So you could go 13 watts. So far I've been testing on performance, but by default it goes to turbo. That's gonna, of course, the higher you go, the more battery you're gonna burn, but the better the games are gonna perform, especially if you're playing high-end AAA games. Keep that in mind. So If you're just playing indie games, you could leave it at 13 watts or 17 watts right there. From here, you can actually restart the system or go to sleep. Also, here, this is right here, you can actually activate real-time monitors. So right there, you can see if you want to update, scan your, or track your, like your FPS and your CPU and GPU usage and all that, battery life while you're playing video games. That's how you're going to do it right there. That's very cool. I love that. Also, resolution, you tap right there. It's a 1080p. You can switch to 720p, which is great. And 900p, which is great as well. Honestly, a lot of games I'm gonna really recommend to go to 900p, especially if it's a high demanding game. Sometimes I go to 900p and it just improves the performance. So don't be shy playing around with this. Just because this is 1080p, it doesn't mean you need to play all the games in 1080p. If you want to get the best performance, there's no shame going to 720p or 900p. Okay, guys. But right there, I'm going to leave it at 1080p. So you got all these things you could do here. To go to Armor Crate, tap right there. It's going to open Armor Crate. Keep in mind, like I said, there was update for Windows, a whole bunch of updates for Windows. It took a while. And then I realized, wait a second, there's a freaking updates over here as well. Not now. Just going to head not now. So right here, make sure you actually go to Update Center. Before you even start playing, go there. And from right here, you're going to go ahead and hit check updates. And it's going to update all this. It updated all that you see there. It updated the AMD Radeon graphic drivers, the BIOS, MCU firmware, AMD chipset drivers, MediaTek drivers, real audio drivers. It updated all that, and it took a while. And make sure when you do that, it's actually plugged into the power, because you don't want to update the BIOS and this die midway, because it could be tragic for your system. Okay, so make sure when you're doing these updates, make sure your device is actually connected to the power, and you'll have no problems whatsoever. I didn't have a problem whatsoever. It just took a while, because it took like almost an hour to do these updates and almost an hour to do the Windows updates. But other than that, once you go ahead here, you got lightning. For those asking, yes, you can customize these lights. You can put it to static. So if you want to have just blue, you can just leave it in blue. Breathing, and you can also change the colors there you want it to breathe to. Like, see that? It changes between these two colors. But you could go ahead and change that, and you could also change the speed. You could go by color, so you can make it cycle between colors, green, red, whatever. You got Aurora Sync. And you got rainbow. Rainbows, I think this is the default one. Yeah, I think this is the default, which I'll leave it there. From here, you got performance. Keep in mind, make sure you actually go ahead here in GPU. This is something, by default, it was actually at 8 gigabytes. So that's pretty damn good. If it's lower than that, I recommend to actually change it to 8 gigabytes. But keep in mind, you can actually change this. Don't put it in auto, because sometimes it's not that accurate. Leave it on 8 gigabytes. But if you want to actually be playing like very heavy, intense games, and you want to make sure it actually works, a lot of times I'll go to 10 and I'll leave it there. But, you know, it's up to you. Right now, I'm just going to leave it at 8. But yeah, you can do that there. Game stats, system stats, you can see it right there. So yeah, you got a couple things here. Personalization, storage. Right now I got, okay, yeah, I have 952 gigabytes open, I guess. Okay, calibration, audio, you got all these features right here, which is very good to actually visit. And that's it. So right now, if you want to quit that, if you want to go to your library, you got it right there. So far I have these two installed right now. If you want to see your like applications, right now I got Xbox, of course that's by default. You got Steam OS and all that. If you go to, let's say you want to install some applications, right? Install Q, you can see plays in my apps, and these apps right here, at least you got everything here. You could go ahead and, for example, download Epic from here. It will just go ahead and start downloading Epic. And that's the great thing about Windows. I've always liked Windows over SteamOS, because SteamOS or Steam Deck is actually locked to Steam. Yes, you can do all the other applications, but to install all the other applications, you have to hack the system. here, since this is Windows, all you got to do is just download and install the applications, and that's it. If you have your library on Epic, you could download your library games from Epic. And that's the beauty thing about Windows. I've always liked Windows because of that. Now, while this is going on, let's go and talk about the specs. For those that don't know, of course, this is the AMD Ryzen AI Z2 Extreme processor, which is way better than the other model, the white model. AMD Radeon graphics, 7 inches of FHD 1920 by 1080p. Aspect ratio is actually 16:9. I really wish it was actually 16:10, but yeah, it's 16:9, 120 hertz, 500 nits brightness when it comes to brightness, and VRR, variable refresh rate. Also, when it comes to the RAM, 24 gigabytes of RAM, which is awesome. The storage is actually 1 terabyte, which is 2280 SSD, which is great because those drives are actually cheaper than drives that you put into your Steam Deck, because they're the normal size. 2280 is the most common size when it comes to the SSD for computers. And when it comes to the battery life, of course, 80 watts hour battery life. Weight wise is actually pretty good. I thought this was gonna feel a lot more heavier, because on the pictures and videos and all that, it looks heavy. It does look heavy, but when you have it here in your hands, it actually feels very, very comfortable. I really like the way it feels. Right now, I think it already did install the application, right? Yeah, I think it did install the application. Yep, it's loading Epic right there. I did play Spider-Man, and it actually plays really good here. And like, see here, it's playing awesomely, and it's playing at 1080p. And yes, FSR is on, AMD FSR is on, but it's going over 70 frames per second, which is very good. And of course, I also played indie game, which is Wheel of Worlds. Awesome, I love that game, and it plays very awesome here. Of course, I downloaded 2 games that I can play really fast, so I can make this video for you guys. But of course, like I said, I will be uploading another video with a whole bunch of gameplays for those videos, and so you guys can see the performance so far of this device. But yeah, if you want to switch to Windows, which is the beauty thing about this, like you see right there, it launched directly to Xbox experience. And once you do all the updates and all that, you can stay here forever. You don't have to go to Windows, which is good. But if you want to go to Windows, you just press and hold here, and when you see that, you could click right here. You see everything that's open. When you have something open, you could just click right here, the X, and it'll close it just like that. Okay, but let's go and click right here, and let's say I want to go to desktop. Oh, click right here again. Oh, keep in mind, of course, this just came out today, so if there's bugs, okay, look at this, kind of funny there, behaving kind of weird. I don't know if it's because I tried to close Armor Crate. If I click right there, maybe that's the reason why. Okay, yeah, something's going on there. Okay, let's click here. Okay, it switched to Windows. The thing is that right now I have it that when it switched to Windows, Xbox still stays on, but you can actually change that in settings. That way, when you switch to Windows, it automatically launches here to Windows, and Xbox is actually minimized. But yeah, from right here, you can use a keyboard. You can actually attach a keyboard and mouse and use it as a PC. It came with this wallpaper by default. If you press and hold, just like every computer, you know, if you use Windows before, you know what you're getting yourself into. Okay, so click right there, and just changes to Windows. Yeah, there you go. So of course, from here you could use any browser and just watch YouTube or media applications, Windows, go to shopping, Netflix. You could do everything here. But of course, when you're going to gaming, of course, make sure you press and hold here, right? And from right here, you got full Xbox experience, or full Xbox full experience. Tap right there. Now this right here, it tells you to restart for better performance. Now, my recommendation, if you're going to actually play a video game, yes, click restart. So that way the system is actually optimized for playing video games. If you're just going to be browsing and doing some installations and all that, you can just go ahead and change to Windows, to the full Xbox experience without restarting the system, you know. But like I said, if you're actually going to click right here, boom, back in Windows, I could close that. Keep in mind, you can actually close that later on. If you're actually going to switch and you're gonna play, it's gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and play a little bit of Gears of War or something like that. Just make sure when you switch, that way it launches into the full Xbox experience, and all the things that were running in background while you're in Windows, it actually shuts all that off. And when it shuts all that off, the performance that you're gonna get, it's all going to be good and smooth, because everything, the RAM and all that, is going to be allocated for the games. You know, just for game, that's all you really want when you're playing video games here. But yeah, so far, like I said, I am liking it. I like the way it feels. I think it feels really good. Honestly, way better than it looks in videos, because I did not like the way this looks. Of course, this also has fingerprints. So right now I like that I'm like this, right? Instead of tapping my code or something like that, you can just tap right here, and automatically it's going to sign you in, because this also serves as a fingerprint. So that's cool. So you got that right there, and you got the volume. Also, we're going to put micro SD card. You put micro SD card there. But right now, this is not working. I don't know why this is not working. I got this from the Steam Deck. Maybe I'm going to have to choose another card. But yes, technically, if you put another card there, you will be able to install video games on that card as well. And other than that, you know, like I said, this is a first hands-on look of this. My impression so far, I'm really liking it. Like I said, I really prefer Windows. Always preferred Windows over SteamOS, because it's open, and from here you can actually install all your Xbox games and games from Steam. Keep in mind, you also get 3 months of Game Pass. So right here in notifications, if you didn't see the pop-up at the beginning, when you click right there, oh my god, this is full of fingerprints. I'm gonna wipe this. Yeah, this is full of fingerprints. Once you go to Windows, that's the thing. When you go to Windows, you have to use the fingers or a mouse, because, yeah. So yeah, right here, this is where you actually redeem. If you didn't do it before while you're doing the setup, you can actually redeem it from here, and you actually get 3 months of Xbox Game Pass Premium. The problem with that is that it doesn't include day one releases. I'm subscribed to PC, Game Pass PC, which includes Xbox day one exclusive. So yeah, you could do that and get 3 months there. You don't have to enter any code whatsoever, just accept. Make sure you subscribe to, or you're logged into your account, and that's it. Other than that, you know, I will later on upload more videos on how to, you know, some tips that I recommend for you guys to do. But so far, I'm actually liking it, and like you see so far, I did play 2 games so far, and they feel really damn smooth. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you think about this. Any questions that you have for the ROG Xbox Ally X, let me know in the comments, and of course I will try to answer them as I, you know, keep on getting myself used to this device. Thanks for watching, guys. Till next time. Bye bye.